little fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This morning moment is on a BBC documentary I came across purely by accident quite recently. It was entitled Our World, Welcome to Germany. Now, I think it goes back in time and then it starts revisiting this particular area, and it really talks about how refugees have impacted a small German town. Problem is, this German town is a former East German town, so they're really not used to seeing people other than Germans. Now, I'll put a link to this YouTube on my website as soon as I can, but you need to snag it up because I'm sure it will disappear pretty soon when the BBC find out about it. Now, at first, this reporter appears to give an objective view. Now, I cannot play the whole video, it's too long, but I will give you some excerpts. But the main point I want to get over to you, and you need to listen to this very clearly, that there is clear biased reporting on the words that are used. How's that, you say? Simple, by describing some anti-immigration, which is basically pro-nationalist, pro-country, protesters as far-right extremists. I think that says it all. I, for one, totally disagree with this description. I ask you, is it wrong to not want your country's culture to change? Now, I know in our country, in particular Canada, the communist leader says Canada has no culture, unless of course you're from Quebec. We are all multicultural. The majority of Canadians, however, would differ with that fact, and by forcing on Canadians yet another 1 million so-called refugees, you are in fact diluting the cultural base of this country. And I believe, as do so many in this country, that this is a deliberate social act. Your thoughts on that? Take a listen to these clips that I put together, watch the complete program, and see the German citizens being interviewed, and they are actually scared to answer the questions put to them openly. Please note the iPhones in one of the shots from the refugee, and the fact that they continue to increase their family size even though they have no work. Is that the country's responsibility to pay for your family increase?
The family know that Germany is taking huge numbers of refugees compared to the rest of Europe.
I think politicians want to present themselves to the world as so-called good people because of the history of Germany.
Aufgrund der Geschichte von der zurückliegenden.
Saturday afternoon in Gera. In town today are two stalls, one representing each side of the refugee debate. Both had advertised they'd be here in the local paper. Dirk Heinz and his family are here to see both. So Dirk's just told me that Die Linke, the political party here, are the former Socialist Party here, when this was East Germany, the GDR.
Tanz e.V., die begrüßen wir hier ganz herzlich.
And these guys are pro-refugees.
Einmal über die Erklärung des Gera Stadtrats vom September diesen Jahres.
From Syria. Syria, and you live in the hospital? Yeah.
The other side is the AfD, which stands for Alternative for Deutschland, a right-wing party that opposes the arrival of so many refugees.
Diese 42,000 Menschen, male young guys, are being told when you come to Germany then you will get your own house, you will get a lot of money and so on.
Und jetzt nochmal auf Deutsch.
When in Germany you say something harsh about asylum seekers, it can very easily happen that you are going to be reported by your next door neighbor.
Do you mind if people call you guys racist?
They can tell me whatever they want, as long as they listen to me and think about what I'm trying to say.
Will your party grow because of the refugee situation?
Well, naturally it will. At
the moment, Gera has no purpose-built mosque for Daham to visit. This room above a shop provides for the mostly Turkish worshippers here, but the congregation is growing daily.
Have you built more space here to accommodate?
So there is a change in the mosque. The numbers have increased. We have worked on trying to change some things. We are thinking about linking up with the government. Perhaps they'll give us
Over at the
a bigger
Heinz family
space.
home in Gera, baby Pierre's walking has come on nicely since my last visit.
Ich koche Nudeln mit Tomatensauce. Tomatensauce mit Wurst.
Dirk's following news about the refugee arrival closely. He says politicians keep changing their minds over how welcome the refugees actually are.
I already said last time that it's total insanity what the politicians are up to under Angela Merkel. The people in this country are totally confused and they don't know what the truth is. Rather, what is happening is that one first gives refugees in their country information, come here, all of you, and then one realises, golly, that's not going to work, we might not actually be able to afford this. And then one sends the signal, well actually, please don't come here. Now the short documentary continues, and I urge you all to view the full video and see how the events in France in the last year or so have actually hardened their views on refugees and how they are actually afraid for their safety and their very lives. Your thoughts? You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio, and please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.